Hi everyone, my name is Bia Sandhu and I'm the founder of Parfait Image Consulting, and I have been invited here today to talk to you girls about styling tips, about fashion, to basically answer any questions that you have on styling tips, especially when it comes to styling according to your body shape and of course styling your shoes with your outfits. So please do log in and please feel free to ask me any questions that you would like. I am going to wait for a few people to tune in before I start. And in the meantime, let me tell you something about myself. I'm the founder of Parfait Image Consulting, and I'm an image consultant. I'm a grooming and etiquette expert. I'm a corporate trainer and an international beauty pageant coach. I have been in this industry for over 5 years now, and I've had the privilege to work with some brilliant brands, brilliant names, with Savvy, Mrs. India, Femina, Mrs. Stylista, Miss Progress International in Italy, Mrs. India UK in London, Mrs. Universe. I'm the national director for Mrs. Universe as well. So I've had the privilege to work with some really good brands where I have groomed and trained girls on styling, on image management, body language, communication skills, dining etiquette, etc. So I am going to be waiting for some more people to log in before I start. And in the meantime, please do start typing in your questions. Hi Rinku, I can see you're online. Hi Preeti, I can see you're online as well. Good to see all of you. It's nice to see familiar faces around always. I think some people are having an issue trying to log in. So, however, I think I will start because I do see some people are logging in slowly and steadily. In the meantime, like I said, please do feel free to ask me any questions that you have, anything that you want to talk about in terms of styling or how to style your outfits in terms of your shoes. What shoes do you feel would go with a particular skirt that you have in mind, or a particular trouser that you have in mind, or a particular dress that you have in mind, or you feel what shoes would go with your body type. So let me start off by saying what styling means to me. For me, styling is not about, being snobbish or about trying to show that I am better than anybody else. No. Styling is about showing your true, authentic personality. You're actually communicating your true, authentic personality with confidence through your personal style, through the kind of clothes that you wear, through the kind of accessories that you wear, through the kind of makeup that you do, the hair that you do. All that is a part of your personal style. Now today I wanted to talk to you about something very basic, very simple, about your body types. We all have unique body types, and it's very important as a woman to understand what your body type is and to dress according to your body type. Some of us could have even a mix of two different body types. Now in India, for example, the most common body type in women to have is the triangular body shape. Now, when we talk about body shapes, basically what we're talking about is the assets that you have and the variations that you have in your body. The assets would be the good parts of your body. Each and every body is unique, like I said, and all of us have some parts of our body which are our assets and some parts of our body which we are not probably so happy about, which become our variations. And we, as an image consultant, what I do is that I help you to understand these assets and variations, to identify these assets and variations in your body so that you dress accordingly, you style your body accordingly. So like I said, in India, the triangular body shape is the most common body shape in women. We have 5 common body types which we talk about when we talk about women body types. Men have different body types and women have different body types, but today we are obviously only going to talk about the women body types. So if you have a triangular body shape, you dress accordingly. If you have an inverted triangular body shape, you dress accordingly. A triangular and an inverted triangular body shape, it's very simple. It's not, rocket science. It's very, very simple thing to understand that if you have a triangular body shape, it's actually in the shape of a triangle, which means that the upper part of your body is the asset and the lower part of your body becomes your variation. So what you need to do is basically you need to concentrate on the upper part of your body through styling, through the kind of outfits that you wear, and you take the focus away from the lower part of your body. Similarly, in an inverted triangular body type, you do exactly the opposite. You take the attention away from the upper part of your body and you take all the attention to the lower part of your body. How would you do this? Through styling. It's very simple again. Through styling, you would do this by just, wearing a lot of prints where you want to take attention. For example, in a triangular body shape, you would wear attractive necklines. You would wear a lot of accessories around your face. You would try and take the focus of your outfit closer to your face. You would probably wear more halters. You would wear more prints, more bright colors on top, and you would wear dull colors at the bottom to take the attention away. Also, dark colors would make you look slimmer. So if you wear dark colors, we all know this, it's a universal fact that if you wear dark colors, it visually makes you look slimmer. The third body type is the rectangular body type. The rectangular body type is the more athletic body type. Basically, it's a very straight body type where you don't have any curves in your body. So if you don't have any curves in your body, again, very simple. All you need to do is try and create curves in your body visually through styling. So how would you do that? You would wear a belt, probably clinch a belt around your waist, which would make which would create curves in your body. You could wear another layer on top. You could wear a blazer which would create layers in your body. You have a lot of ruffled outfits which are available in the market today. That would automatically create a lot of curves in your body. So this is how we visually, through our style, through our personal style, depending on our body type, try and visually change the look of our outfit and bring the best version of ourselves out. The fourth body type is the diamond body type. Now, I have a diamond body type, which means that the upper part and the lower part of your body are relatively slimmer to the middle part of your body. So the mid section of your body is the largest part of your body, exactly like how a diamond looks. Exactly what you need to do again with this body type is that you concentrate on the upper and the lower part. You've got great legs, you've got great shoulders, so flaunt them, flaunt your assets and hide your variations. So how would you hide your variations? You never wear figure hugging outfits. You wear A-line outfits. You wear outfits like what I am wearing at the moment is an A-line dress. So I am wearing something which is sleeveless to flaunt my shoulders, because my shoulders, hi Shweta, how are you? Good to see you here. Because my shoulders are not as big compared to the rest of my body. So I would wear an A-line outfit because it's not figure hugging and it would take the focus away from the mid section of my body. Even shift dresses go really well. Shift dresses, by the way, are universal dresses. These dresses can be worn by any body type. Any body type can get away with wearing a shift dress. A shift dress, for all of you who don't know what it is just a straight cut dress. Okay, and if you feel you have like for example a triangular body shape, then you would have a bigger lower part, then you would have a slimmer waist relatively, so you could clinch it with a belt again. Hi, I see a lot of people joining. Hi Dipali, hi Ifat. A lot of people are slowly and steadily coming in. Welcome everyone. So for all of you who've kind of missed what I've been talking about, I've just been talking about the very basics of styling and how we can style ourselves based on our body types. And also after this, I will be talking about how you can dress with different outfits, how you can combine your shoes and what kind of different shoes go with what kind of outfits. Okay, so I had explained four body types to you, and the last one, last but not the least, is the hourglass figure. We've all heard of hourglass figures, haven't we? Unfortunately, all of us are not blessed. God hasn't given an hourglass figure to everyone. I wish I had one, and I know some of you work really hard to, with your fitness goals to try and get an hourglass figure. So basically, if you have an hourglass figure, you are absolutely blessed, because any and everything will suit you. Just remember with the hourglass figure not to wear baggy clothes, because you've got a great body, you've got great assets, so flaunt it. Flaunt something that is good about your body. And of course, the only important thing to remember with an hourglass figure is your undergarments. I always stress this with all my clients, with anybody who comes to me for grooming, that in India especially, we do not take the value of well fitted undergarments seriously. We always feel that undergarments are very, you bother about, because probably you feel that they're not visible and people can't see them, so we pay very little attention to undergarments. And I really feel it is important to give a lot of finer tuning detail to your undergarments, especially if you have an hourglass figure. You would be wearing figure hugging clothes, and believe you me, if your undergarments are not well fitted, it can really leave a poor impression, or sometimes even put you in embarrassing situations, and we don't want that. So this is just the basics of the 5 different body types that we have. So if any of you have any questions, if you feel you have a particular body type and you would like to ask me how you could, and you all know your personal style better than anybody else, you know what you like and what you don't like. So if you feel you want to ask me any questions based on whatever you have decided, you please feel free to ask me any questions. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about what do you feel are the shoes that would go with a party dress. Suppose we're talking about a pageant, we're talking about an evening formal, very, very formal event that you have to go for. So what are the kind of dresses you would wear? Obviously, you would wear a very, very formal dress if you're going for a formal occasion. And what kind of shoes would go with that kind of a dress? So you would always wear strappy sandals. They could be T-strap sandals, they could be ankle strap sandals. They go beautifully with these long flowing gowns. Gowns is what you would ideally wear. I could wear a short dress as well, because I feel short dresses suit me more than long dresses, because I feel my legs are the assets of my body, so I would like to flaunt them. So I would wear short dresses more than I would long dresses, even if it's a formal occasion. And like I said, this is where your personal style comes in. Your personal style is something which is always authentic to you, and you are the only one who understands your personal style. Okay, I've got a question there. What is the difference between A-line and halter? Mostly people confuse with these two types. Okay, Sneha, hi. Sneha, A-line and halter is a very, very different, the two are extremely different. Halter is the neck. The neck is the halter. So what I'm wearing right now is not a halter. It's a sleeveless. A halter is something where you have this cut on your neck. That becomes a very extreme defined cut on your body in terms of your clothes. That's a halter neck. Whereas an A-line dress that I'm talking about is something which is in the shape of an A. So the dress would be probably like this, or it could be a halter neck on top. And the lower part, the flowy part, how it goes down, the flowy bit is the A-line. So they are both completely different. I hope that answers your question. And you could wear a halter with an A-line, so they both could be combined in one dress. And like I said, this is one style which goes beautifully with diamond shaped dresses and with inverted triangular, or maybe triangular as well. They go really, really well as long as you cover your shoulders if it's an inverted triangular body type. Okay, I've got another question there from Dipali. My upper body is slim and lower body is big. So I have already, I hope you know what body type you are in that case. If your upper body is slim and lower body is big, that means you're a triangular body shape. and with this body shape, not able to decide which size should I take. Sorry, I can't read that. Which size I should take, it's very complicated. Suggest something how to deal with it. So Dipali, basically you have a triangular body shape, which means that the upper part of your body is slimmer, which is the asset of your body, and the lower part of your body is your variation, which means that that is one part of your body which you take the focus away from. So what you need to do, Dipali, is wear darker shades at the bottom, wear shades, all your bright colors, all your printed patterns, everything, the focus should be brought on top because your upper part of your body is slimmer. So you could wear sleeveless dresses, you could wear sleeveless, but long, make sure you wear long dresses because you can't wear short dresses since the lower part of your body is bigger. And also, you can wear a lot of sleeveless like what I'm wearing. You can wear a lot of halters. You can also wear layers which just finish on the top of your hip because that visually again makes you look slimmer. And even if you have the lower part of your body is bigger, it will visually make it look slimmer only if it ends at that, where our hip starts, where our butt is starting, and just under your waistline. If your blazer or any jacket or any layer that you're wearing on top finishes there, it visually makes you look much slimmer. Another tip, girls, we all want to look slimmer, and believe you me, even I want to look slimmer all the time. Like I said, I'm not blessed with an hourglass figure. So another good tip to dress slim is that if you wear jackets which finish and end at your waistline, it visually makes you look much slimmer. So Dipali, I hope I answered your question and gave you some suggestions that you could, which size of clothes. Size I would not be able to tell you, Dipali, because I haven't seen you. So remember this again, girls, just because I am saying that you have a triangular body type or a rectangular body type, we have different sizes in that. You could be a size 8 and you could be a rectangular, and you could be a size 14 and you could be a rectangular. So I need to see you and I need to visually see you. So please do get in touch with me individually if you want individual sessions. I do take one-on-one consultations. Parfait Image Consulting is the name of my page. You can DM me, get in touch with me, and I'll definitely be able to look at you and give you advice if you would like advice further. My body shape is pear. So pear is a triangular body shape, exactly what I've been talking about, Neha. Which type of dresses would suit me? So for a triangular body type, again, because the upper part is, your asset, so you will wear a lot of sleeveless. You can wear queen and necks. Your necklines can be very decorative because, like I said, you have to take the focus to the upper part of your body. Avoid wearing short dresses. Wear A-line dresses because, again, if you wear very tight-fitting dresses, they will kind of show the lower part of your body is bigger than the upper part of your body. So wear not tight-fitting but A-line long dresses. With trousers, you could wear dark-colored straight-cut trousers. Avoid wearing bell-bottoms, flared trousers because they will, again, make you look even wider than what you are from the lower part of your body, Neha. This is for you because you're a pear-shaped body. Okay, so Rinku's just asked me a question. What about the opposite? If you have an inverted triangular body type. So if you have an inverted triangular body type, in that case, all the focus goes to the lower part of your body. So, in Zara, you get these brilliant printed trousers nowadays. You get these brilliant printed skirts. You've got slim legs. Obviously, you've got great legs if you've got an inverted triangular body shape. So take all the focus there. And on top, because you are big and it's the bigger part of the variation of your body, try and wear plain monochrome colors. Try and wear darker colors. You will not wear sleeveless. You will not wear halters. Try and even with your necklines, try and keep them simple, not very exaggerated, and that is what will visually definitely help you look slimmer. Again, you could wear jackets because jackets, like I said, if you're big on top, wear a jacket. Visually, make sure that you don't have shoulder pads on it though, because that will make you look even bigger than what you are. So that could make you look slimmer as well. I hope that answers your question, Rinku. Thank you, Dipali. What kind of shoes, sandals are apt with business suits or blazers? That's a brilliant question. So I do a lot of corporate trainings, and when I go for my corporate trainings, the look that I have to achieve is very close to my personal style, but at the same time I have to give the corporate look. So for a corporate look, remember, you always, as yes, blazers, Shefali, absolutely. Whenever you are in for a corporate look, my suggestion is always wear a third layer. By a third layer, I mean a blazer, a jacket, because that instantly makes you look more authoritative. So always wear a blazer. And yes, the kind of, coming back to your question, Shefali, what shoes and sandals are apt for business suits or blazers? Always closed shoes. That's the number one rule. You will never wear open sandals. I go and teach in an institute here in Bangalore locally, and the students come there with trousers and chappals, and that really irks me. So please remember, whenever it is any formal occasion, okay, especially when it comes to a corporate occasion, of course, with your pageant, with your gowns, your formal gowns, you can wear your strappy sandals and open sandals. But for a corporate look, it has to be court shoes, it has to be closed shoes, it has to be, you could wear boots which are ankle length, your ankle length boots, you could wear pumps, you could wear, but ideally it should be. And also remember, when you go to a corporate meeting or for a corporate affair, you would always never go over 4 inches with your heels. When we talk about pageants, when you're on the ramp, it's 6 inches or more. So similarly, when you are in a corporate environment, the formal look, the authoritative look is extremely important. So that's the difference. You always never ever make sure wear more than 4 inches of heels when you are trying to give a very corporate business look. Okay, Shefali, I hope that answers your questions. Hi Aman, how are you? Good to see you here. Thank you, Sneha. I'm glad that helped you. For broader shoulders, which neckline suits the best? So Shweta, for broad shoulders, like I said, the idea is not to bring the focus to the broad shoulders, right? Because you know that your shoulders are broad, so you don't want people to focus on your broad shoulders. You want people to focus on the assets of your body. So what you would do for that is that, again, you could wear shrugs to cover your shoulders if you feel they are broad. Again, remember, whenever you're wearing a third layer or a blazer or a shrug, you would never ever wear padded. It should always be non-padded. For your necklines, keep them simple, keep them straightforward, not very decorative lines. You could wear round necks. You could wear maybe a bateau neck. A bateau neck would cover your shoulders till here. At the same time, it would not expose this part of your shoulder. So ideally, I would say, if you have broad shoulders, keep the neckline simple. Don't have the Queen Anne and the very decorative necklines and too much happening around. Even with accessories, I would say, try and keep the accessories to the earrings. Don't try and wear too much of stuff around the neck, because then that again will take the focus close to your broader shoulders. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Aman. I'm so glad you've joined my session. It's really good to see you here. And I can see that somebody called Pinky is joined us recently. I hope I'm answering everybody's questions and I haven't missed anyone. Yes, I think I have done most of the questions here. Girls, keep shooting, keep asking me questions. We don't have too much of time. I've only got another 7 minutes to go. So keep asking me as many questions as you want. Do you suggest specific neck types for the blazers in the professional look? With the blazers, you have the lapels. The lapels is what automatically gives an authoritative look. But only yesterday, I have to say, I'm hooked on to Netflix right now, like anybody else, like all of us are at the moment, lockdown syndrome. So I was watching this one particular series where this lady was wearing a very straight, it was a neck like this with a straight cut, which did not have any lapels or any of that, and I thought it looked brilliant. With that, obviously, you will have to wear something with a round neck under it. So I thought that was looking really, really nice, Sneha, and giving and she was in a corporate environment, and I thought it looked really, really brilliant. So that's something I'm going to definitely incorporate in my wardrobe very, very soon. So please, do remember that besides the regular basic styles of blazers that we have, you could even use shrugs. By shrugs, I don't mean the short boleros, I mean the long shrugs. We could use those as well as a third layer, and that automatically. Now, even when we talk about giving a formal look, there are different levels when we talk about formal looks. If you're wearing a navy blue trouser with a white shirt. Yes, you are dressed formally, but you're not a 10 on 10 formal. Whereas if you're wearing a black suit from head to toe with a black shirt, then you're a 10 on 10 formal. So even when we talk about corporate looks, now there's something known as an international style scale, which I train people on. So if anybody is interested in learning more about the corporate look in particular, please do get in touch with me on my page, Power of Image Consulting, and I will be able to help you out definitely. How do you start your day to stay so energetic? You have a flawless glowing skin. Thank you so much, Aman. Trust me, it is makeup. It is not, I don't naturally have a flawless glowing skin. I think I've just learned over a period of time to give this look with makeup. I do start my day nowadays. I have to say I'm trying to maintain a routine. I'm trying to work out every day. I'm trying to be healthy. I've got my own personal goals to achieve, which I'm doing on the side. So the first thing when I wake up in the morning is I've started, having moringa powder. I've started having wheatgrass juice. I have my chia seeds. I have lemon water and honey with hot water. These are my, I get a whole paraphernalia of things in the morning to my bedside, and I have 5 curry pattas every day. That's for my hair. So I don't have any white hair at the moment. I've got 2 or 3 strands which I just cut off. So luckily I've never had to color my hair. I'm blessed with good genes because my dad started growing very late. So that's how and then what do? Once I wake up, I've got 2 little kids at home, so they keep me really, really busy. Try and keep them on their toes as well. And I've been doing a lot of live sessions, Aman. I've been really enjoying doing live sessions. I've been trying to impart knowledge. I've been trying to, whatever I know, help people out in regards of whatever I can, in whichever way I can. I try and do that. And I'm absolutely enjoying this time with my family as well, because I am otherwise super busy traveling all the time from one destination to another with both my, with my work. So yes, so I'm really enjoying this time at home and cooking a lot. I never knew I could cook, and I believe I never cooked before this, and now suddenly I feel like, wow, I didn't know I could. At least I know I can. My family won't starve in case I don't have any help at home. I can keep them alive with my cooking. Thank you, Aman. Thank you so much. Thank you. So coming back to styling, what can I tell you more about shoes? Okay, so I spoke about pageant gowns, what kind of shoes would go with that. We also spoke about corporate wear, what kind of shoes go with the corporate wear. What about a casual dress? What about if you're going for brunch with your friends? What if you're wearing a sundress, if it's a casual outfit? What kind of shoes would go with that? So with that, you would have your, if it's summers, obviously, like it's boiling. We're already in the heat of summers now. So espadrilles go really, really well. They are a good medium to beat the heat, especially with casual dresses. Your platforms, your mules go really well with casual dresses. Moccasins, not maybe in this season, but once the weather opens up a little, because moccasins, again, they can get very sticky. And sneakers is something which is so in nowadays. Sneakers go with everything. They go with everything. Rinku is saying, please do share where we can check all your live. Okay, so I am, like you all know, I'm at the moment live on Rinku's page, Fitness to Flash Grooming. And otherwise, if you want any more information, please get in touch with me on my page, Power of Image Consulting. And for all of you who don't know me, my name is Dia Sandhu. And I have my own page on Facebook and Instagram. So please do feel free to get in touch with me there. So coming back to what I was saying, with the casual look, the sneakers is something which is really, really in at the moment. And you have celebs who are wearing sneakers with blazers right now. So, at the moment, it's so much in trend and you can get away with anything with sneakers. But ideally, I would say with casual dresses, whenever I travel, because it's comfort as well, right? We have to look at comfort, at least when you're traveling, or not all the time. If you're doing, if you're looking at a corporate look, or if you're looking at work, whichever work you are in, of course, we have to look at formal shoes. But when you look at casual outfits, I feel sneakers and espadrilles both are a really, really good medium of, wearing relaxed, comfortable footwear. And at the same time, they look trendy and stylish. Okay. So what about bodycon dresses? Now somebody who has a hourglass figure, a bodycon dress would look absolutely fab on them. It would look wow. So what kind of shoes would you feel would go with a bodycon dress? Again, it's pumps, the kitten heels. Kitten heels would look really nice with a bodycon dress. So I feel that these two shoes would look really, really good with those kind of outfits. Now, a lot of people do ask me this question, and I'm quite surprised I haven't got this question as of now. But do you feel it's important to match your shoes to your bag or to your belt? This was a big, big fashion rule at one point of time that, yes, you were wearing matching shoes and matching bags and matching belts all the time. But it's not a trend anymore. As long as your bag and your shoes are complementing each other, they are looking good together, that's what's important. But it's not a rule anymore that they have to match each other. And also your belt, again, has to complement each other and not match each other to the hilt. So I hope I've answered your questions, girls. We have finished our time for today. If you have any more questions, please feel free to get in touch with me at Parfait Image Consulting. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook, Bia Sandhu, the founder of Parfait Image Consulting. It was lovely chatting with all of you. Thank you so much for all your questions. Thank you, Rinku, for having me here. Thank you, and I hope I did manage to give you some useful tips which you will be using in your everyday life. Thank you very much. Thanks once again. Thank you.